Welcome to Interlagos, Sao Paulo. We hope you're enjoying your Saturday afternoon, and we hope you'll stay with us for today's qualifying for the Brazilian Grand Prix.
Hi guys, CombinedYoutuber here. Welcome to the F1 2016 career mode today, and we'll be doing the Brazilian Grand Prix, the penultimate round of Season 1 of this career mode on F1 2016. So far we have Rosberg leading the championship, I believe, so here we are for qualifying, and Romain Grosjean comes onto the straight. It's a wet qualifying, by the way, obviously, you can see that. It's full wet tyres, so it's a heavy rain session. Grosjean goes second with a 125.2, I think that's it. And now here is Vettel in the fastest car, Ferrari, coming onto the straight now. Here comes Vettel onto the straight. What can he do coming into the final corner? Onto the straight. He comes onto the straight now and sets a 124.3 and going provisional pole. So far we have Vettel and Grosjean in P1 and 2, and I waited until the intermediates period because the reason why is because well, I didn't want to drive on the wet tyres because I don't like heavy rain in this game, and the inters are quite yeah. The inters are faster at the moment, I think. At the time of coming out, at the time I came out, the inters were faster. And Hamilton in front of me, I think, has also got the inters. Is that correct? Oh, if it just hit the wall there on the exit of the pit lane, actually. Here we go onto the straight now, starting our lap, and I think it's our one and only lap. And now coming onto the straight now and into the first corner, breaking down to second gear. And now coming into third gear. Now coming through into turn 3 onto the straight. Trying not to oversteer there by upshifting a bit earlier through the edges of the corners. Now coming into turn 4, breaking into third, hitting the apex nicely. Going into fourth again, just preventing oversteer. I think obviously we will have a little bit of oversteer at some points. And now back into fourth gear again through turn 5 and 6, the double right-hander. And now coming into turn 7. Into second gear, hitting the apex again. Obviously taking about 80 kilometers an hour there due to the weather. Now coming onto the straight. I didn't actually catch the first sector time we did. The first sector. But I'll get the second sector in just a second. Coming onto the last few corners and onto the straight now, coming into turn 13. And we're 2.7 seconds up. So that's how much faster the wet tyres are at the moment compared to the inters. So Hamilton in front of me, he will get provisional pole, surely. He crosses the line, and he crosses the line now. He is going to get a 122.0, and we cross the line with a 121.2. That is almost 8 tenths ahead of Hamilton. That's provisional pole for us, and it looks like we are going to get another pole position in this career mode, unless Vettel can improve. What can Vettel do? Coming onto the straight. Here he goes, onto the straight now. Coming through into 7th gear, onto the straight now, to the pit straight. Vettel crosses the line with a 121.6, going second quickest in this Brazilian Grand Prix qualifying. And now Kimi Räikkönen in the other Ferrari. What can he do? He crosses the line, 14 seconds to go in qualifying. He crosses the line with a 122.3, not good enough, he goes into 5th. And that means that we are on pole position for the Brazilian Grand Prix. So, here we go. There we go. We are on pole for the Brazilian Grand Prix. The penultimate race of the season. We get pole.
And Sebastian Vettel. The grid is set then, so that just leaves the race itself. Join us tomorrow, where we'll be live with all the action. And until then, it's goodbye.
So the order for qualifying for the Brazilian Grand Prix, we get pole position by 0.2 of a second from Nico Rosberg in second, Vettel in third, then Hamilton in fourth, and Ricciardo fifth, Raikkonen sixth, Verstappen seventh, Bottas eighth, Grosjean ninth, Alonso 10th, Kvyat 11th, Massa 12th, Sainz and Perez, Hulkenberg, Button, Haryanto, Ericsson, Verline, Nasser, Magnussen and Palmer. The two Renaults at the back of the grid. Jolly and Palmer being at the back. I don't know. That's quite usual, to be honest, as usual. Here we go, waiting for our resource points. Penultimate round of the season, after the Brazilian Grand Prix qualifying. Our expected position was 8th, and we overachieved by 7 positions, getting pole position. And we get 81 resource points there to get 3,607 after stopping R&D after Malaysia, of course. So here we go with the rivalry with Nico Rosberg. We are beating him at the moment. I didn't actually expect to beat him. As soon as I got Rosberg as a rival, I did not expect to beat him at all. But then in the first qualifying session, I just beat him by getting pole position. So anyway, here we go for the driver position. And we are still overachieving. I think we've pretty much overachieved for the whole time. So here are race goals for the Brazilian Grand Prix. We need to finish the race in 5th or higher. We need to place higher than Nico Rosberg in the standings. And we need to beat our teammate Romain Grosjean. So, let's hope this Brazilian Grand Prix is a good race. And let's go now to the Brazilian Grand Prix.
As surely as the sun rises in the morning, the Brazilian Grand Prix packs out the grandstands and creates incredible drama. Title deciders, heartbreak, triumph and home glory. All these and more can be found in abundance here at the Autodromo José Carlos Pache. It's an unusual anti-clockwise race here at Interlagos, where the Sao Paulo locals are packed into the grandstands at each of the 15 corners around this classic 2.7-mile circuit. 2 very fast sections bookend the famous and highly technical Sector 2, where getting a good run out of Junsao into one of the 2 DRS zones will be the key to any overtaking prospects today. With so much on the line here today, I can't help but shake the feeling that we're going to have a bit of pushing and shoving, Anthony Davidson, especially into turn 1 this afternoon.
Well, we do see a fair amount of that here at Interlagos, Crofty. It's a tricky braking zone, of course, as you're heading downhill into the Centre S, which always makes it easy to lock the inside front and run a bit wide. We've seen a number of occasions over the years with someone from the leading group taking a bit of a knock on the first lap and having to recover. That's one of the reasons we've had so many exciting championship fights here. Hopefully, though, it'll be a clean start, of course, but as you say, I wouldn't be too surprised if it's not.
You've done well to put it on pole, but we've still got work to do. Trying to cover the inside line off the start.
And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
So, here we are on the grid for the penultimate round of Season 1 of the F1 2016 Career Mode here in Brazil. We start from pole position with about 2/10 advantage from Nico Rosberg, who starts 2nd place in this Grand Prix. Here we are on the formation lap. We lead it for the 3rd time in this season because we got pole in Monaco, of course, and we also got pole in Japan. We got pole in Japan, and we also got pole here in Brazil. So it's our 3rd pole position of the season. And we only got 1 win in Japan as well. So here we go, leading the formation lap, just weaving, warming up our tyres. I don't know why we stopped there, but that's sort of weird. Anyway, I think I was trying to warm up my brakes. It's been a while. I commentate this on the 16th of March 2018, and it's like February or something when I recorded this. I don't know. Maybe even January. It's been a long time. I don't even know what happened. Well, I do know what happened, but I don't remember why I broke and stuff. So, coming onto the straight now, lining up on the grid for the penultimate round of the season. Let's hope these last 2 races are good. Here we go, onto the straight, lining up on pole position for the Brazilian Grand Prix. Let's hope this is a good race. Rosberg starts alongside me on the grid. Hamilton 4th there, Vettel 3rd behind me. 2 Red Bulls line up, 2 Ferraris line up, and the Mercedes starts alongside me. Here we go, the Brazilian Grand Prix is almost underway. And now, we are waiting for the last few guys to come into their grid positions. And now, here we go. We're going to start the Brazilian Grand Prix, the penultimate round of the F1 2016 Career Mode. It's now lights out and away we go for this penultimate round of the season. And we get a pretty good start there compared to Rosberg there. And we lead coming into turn 1. We keep first position. And Rosberg now behind us. And Hamilton takes third place, well actually stays in third place. And now coming onto turn 3 out of the exit of the Curva de Sol. And now coming into turn 4 now. Rosberg is right behind us coming into turn 4. Is he going to get us? And there's Hamilton and Vettel going side by side. Who's going to win there? Hamilton I think is going to win there. And we still lead through the first few corners. Coming into turn 5 now. Going a little bit wide there, but we still keep this lead. Can Rosberg actually get us though into the corners? Hope so, but I either hope to dominate or I hope to have a good race. But I don't know really. Here we go onto the end of lap 2 of the Brazilian Grand Prix. Because the first lap was sort of boring because I was leading it. And Raikkonen has somehow taken second place. Rosberg's lost out. Anyway, here comes Raikkonen, slipstreaming us coming down to turn 1. He goes to the outside, and we get the fastest lap, and Raikkonen gets an even faster lap there. And we go wide into turn 1, that's very wide, and that's going to get Raikkonen into the lead of the Brazilian Grand Prix. We lose the lead, and we go into second. And now coming onto the exit of the Curva de Sol, Hamilton goes side by side with us, and he gets past us as well into second place. But now, here we go coming to turn 4, up the inside of Hamilton. We almost touch it. We've indeed do touch him in fact, and we get back up into second. So Raikkonen takes the lead of the Brazilian Grand Prix. Hamilton in third place, and there's a Williams in fourth trying to get past Hamilton right now. And now on to lap 4 of this Brazilian Grand Prix. Coming into turn 1, what's Hamilton going to do? We are catching Raikkonen at the moment here in Brazil, but on the exit of the Curva de Sol once again, we have DRS on Raikkonen, but we always get bad traction out of there. So Hamilton's not going to get onto the inside of us coming down to turn 4. Is he going to get us? He has the inside line, and he does get us. What a move from Lewis Hamilton there. He does get us there. And now coming into turn 5, up the inside of Hamilton, not quite. We're not going to go for a move there anyway. Now coming into turn 6, we've been passed by Hamilton into second place. That's unfortunate for us there. And now onto the end of lap 4 and onto lap 5 of this Brazilian Grand Prix. This is a decent race so far. And now coming onto the pit straight now, we use DRS on Lewis Hamilton, coming down towards turn 1. Here we go, move to the inside of Hamilton, and we go on the inside, back up into second place we go. And we get into second, and we just sped past Hamilton. I think we touched Hamilton on the exit of turn 1 there, but that's okay. And now onto the beginning of lap 5 on the exit of the Curva de Sol. Hamilton comes back at us, coming down to turn 4. Is he going to get us? No, he isn't. We hold it around the outside into second place. And Raikkonen is still leading the race. Could he win today? Maybe he could win today. He has the pace to, surely. Because obviously the Ferrari is the fastest car. Coming now onto the straight. Coming down towards turn 1 again, DRS, and we're going to go into the pit lane. This is our pit stop lap in this Brazilian Grand Prix, lap 6 of 18, and coming into the pits now for our first and only pit stop in this Brazilian Grand Prix. The Williams of... I didn't even catch who that was actually. But now coming onto the pit stop now, we change onto the hard tyres. Because that's what the strategy gave us to do. We didn't need to go on the mediums because the tyre wear in Brazil is not good, so the hard tyres are probably the required tyre to use in this race. So we come out around midfield, probably about 10th place, behind the 2 McLarens and Sergio Perez in the Force India. So that's pretty good there. And we come out just in front of the 2 Renaults of Palmer Magnussen, who started on the back row of the grid. And yeah, we do come out in 13th place. That is about midfield. So now teammates now in the pits, as now we start lap 7, or end lap 7, starting lap 8 of the Brazilian Grand Prix. Here we go. Let's see what happens here. We get ahead of Grosjean, and we get into 10th place there, and are coming into turn 1 on lap 8 of the Brazilian Grand Prix. It's going to be close to Sebastian Vettel here, and are we going to get out ahead of him? Yes, we are. We are going to get out ahead of Sebastian Vettel, only just there, and we get up into 9th place. but we are behind Lewis Hamilton. So Hamilton has managed to undercut us there. We were ahead of him as we went to the pit lane, but now we are behind him. So now we need to find a way past him. Somehow. I think we're effectively second or third, maybe? Second or third, I think. But I do have a chance to win this Grand Prix. Or as does anyone, really, in this race. And now coming on to lap 8 of the Brazilian Grand Prix, we are gaining on Lewis Hamilton very fast. And here comes, and we're going to go up the inside of Hamilton and Alonso coming into Button, sorry, not the both British drivers coming into turn 1, and we move up into P6. So that's a good double overtake there on Hamilton and Button. But now, is one of them going to get us back? Who is that ahead of us? That's Rosberg ahead of us. So we've actually lost out on both Mercedes. So has the game screwed us over here? Have we been screwed over on the strategy? Because every AI ahead of us is on the medium tyres, and we are on the hards. So have we been screwed over in terms of the victory? Will we win this race or not? Because every AI around me is on the medium tyres, and I'm on the hards. And Carlos Sainz is out of the race after engine failure there. Unfortunate for the Toro Rosso driver. And that brings out the virtual safety car. So it's another virtual safety car in this Brazilian Grand Prix. Or no, actually the first one, but of the season it's another virtual safety car. We almost hit Rosberg there. Doesn't really help us, to be honest. I don't know why it's there, to be honest. But if this was there for 2017, the virtual safety car would come out about every 2 laps for absolutely no reason. Because that's the glitch. That's the glitch on that game. But obviously I am doing a 2017 career after this season, starting 1. As Rosberg gets past Alonso there, and he moves up into 4th. Now we're going to get past Alonso into 5th, and now here we are on the race director, where we have Ricciardo Verstappen in the lead, and Alonso yet to pit, so we are actually effectively 3rd place. And obviously I think we have actually been screwed over by the game, or screwed over by the strategy. I don't know what's happened, because I don't know why the AI are on mediums and I'm on hards. Like the front running AIs are on the mediums and I'm on the hard tyres. Anyway, back to the action now as we go onto the inside of Nico Rosberg, and we get into 3rd place into turn 1. So it's a decent pass there. Well, actually no, it's an easy pass on Nico Rosberg. But now coming through the Curva del Sol and now through onto the DRS straight. Can Rosberg get us back? We're actually to 4th place, not 3rd. Sorry about that. Rosberg goes to the inside. He's going to get us. We almost touched, but Rosberg does get the place back into 4th. And now, we're going to go back on the inside maybe of Nico Rosberg? No, we aren't, because once again we back out of the move into that corner. I don't want to go for moves into that corner. Only on 2013 I did that move into that corner. But it was on Esteban Gutierrez, who was in a Sauber compared to my Ferrari, so pretty slow, to be honest with you. On to lap 12 of this Brazilian Grand Prix. We are still in 5th place. So, we are still waiting for the other 2 guys to pit in this race. Here we go, onto the pit straight. I think one of them did pit, in fact. And now here we go, going closer to Rosberg, coming into turn 1, and we get on the inside of Nico Rosberg. Into 4th place we go. Maybe even 3rd place because of that guy in the pits. So we get up into 3rd, or back up into 3rd place. Now, through turn 3. And Rosberg, is he going to get us back here? He's got DRS available. He's going to go to the inside. And here we go, side by side with us, coming into turn 4. Is he going to get us? No, he isn't. We hold it around the outside, and we keep the podium places in this race. So, will Rosberg hold us on there? Well, we hold Rosberg off. And we're indeed in 3rd place after that corner. So, yeah, Verstappen is in the pits, obviously. So we are now in 2nd. So Raikkonen at the moment is leading the race. He looks like he's going to win. Rosberg now has got great traction once again out of the Curva del Sol. We defend the inside line as Rosberg goes to the outside, coming into turn 4. Are we gonna try and get him here? Rosberg goes around the outside, and he now gets up into 2nd place. But now, coming into turn 5, we are still behind Rosberg here. Can we get him here coming into this turn 6 on lap 14 of the race? Now onto the penultimate lap, because we have a few boring laps here. Coming onto the penultimate lap now, Rosberg has pulled away from us, so our 2nd place has been lost. Vettel goes to the inside of us coming into turn 4, and we have lost the podium. But now, are we going to get Vettel now back into turn 4 or turn 5? Hopefully, but we don't quite get him back there. We sorry for the corner cut there. But officially, we have lost second place due to the strategy being a bit screwed up. Medium tyres for the AI in front of me, and hard tyres for me. Like seriously. DRS on Sebastian Vettel now onto the penultimate lap, and now he slipstream him coming onto the straight, and we go on the inside of him coming into turn 1, and we get him back into third place as we start the last lap of the Brazilian Grand Prix. We are back into third place, but now is Vettel going to get us back coming into turn 3, coming down towards turn 4. Here comes Vettel to the inside once again into turn 4. Yes, he does get us, but now he's forced us out on the exit. But now coming into this corner, Vettel does get us back there, so let's see what we can do onto the straight. The thingy glitched out a bit there, but now here is Rosberg on the start of the final lap on Kimi Räikkönen, who had a straight line speed issue, and now here he comes onto the straight. Rosberg now moves to the inside of Kimi Räikkönen and takes the lead on the last lap. Rosberg takes the lead away from Kimi, and that is unfortunate for Kimi there. He loses the lead on the last lap of the Grand Prix. That's unfortunate for him there. Rosberg takes the lead of the race, and now onto the final lap of this Grand Prix. Are we going to go up the inside of Vettel? Coming into turn 12, yes we are! We go up the inside, and we get up into third place. That's a good move from us. And we are going to get the podium in this Brazilian Grand Prix. Here comes Nico Rosberg around the final corner to win the Brazilian Grand Prix and gives him a real chance to win the championship in this season. And now coming into the final corner for us now, Räikkönen is actually right there in front of us, but I don't think his problem is bad enough for him to lose second place at the line. So we are now coming onto the final corner, and Räikkönen crosses the line for second place, and we are finishing in third place, and another podium in this career mode.
I was a bit worried about this one at the start of the weekend, but you've pulled through. Thank you.
Mercedes celebrate another victory as Rosberg wins the race. He is almost certainly going to win the championship now. Or, well, not almost certainly, but he has a bigger chance to after that win today in Brazil. It was a good drive from him, to be honest. He pulled away from me very well. I couldn't catch him today. Räikkönen deserved it more, though, to be honest. He led every single lap of the race except for the final lap. Well, there we go. That's racing. Rosberg wins, so at least it's not two Mercedes on the podium, it's Mercedes, Ferrari and Haas, as we finish in third, well, on the podium for, I think, 6th time? I'm not sure if it's the 5th or 6th time in this career, but there you go, that's the podium for the Brazilian Grand Prix, penultimate round of the season. Here we go for the race results. Rosberg wins the race by 2.5 seconds, from Kimi Räikkönen in second place. We are in third place, for another time. Vettel in 4th and Ricciardo in 5th, Verstappen 6th, Bottas in 7th, Grosjean 8th, Massa 9th, Hamilton finishes in 10th. Hamilton in 10th, and Rosberg won the race. Kvyat in 11th, Alonso 12th, Hülkenberg 13th, Button 14th. Then we have wait for it. What the hell? Sergio Perez in 15th place. Then we have Marcus Ericsson, Rio Haryanto, Pascal Wehrlein, Kevin Magnussen, Jolyon Palmer, Felipe Nasser, and the retirement of the race, Carlos Sainz. But anyway, Hamilton finished in 10th. I don't know what the hell happened to him, but he's in 10th place. And that brings Rosberg into the lead of the championship by 19 points. So Hamilton basically needs a win, and Rosberg needs to get no lower than second. So if Hamilton wins, Rosberg needs to get no lower than second for him to win the championship there. Basically Rosberg needs to beat Hamilton, and then he's won the championship. That was the championship. I think we were in third, but that championship isn't important now. Nor is the constructors, but we have the championship battle between Rosberg and Hamilton will go down to the wire with 19 points between them. We are in third, 102 points behind. Kimi Räikkönen 4th, Vettel 5th, then Bottas 6th, Ricciardo 7th, Verstappen 8th, Grosjean 9th, and Massa completing the top 10. That's all I will say for this. The constructor standings. We have Mercedes obviously ahead by 267 points, Ferrari in 2nd, Red Bull 3rd, Haas in 4th, Williams 5th, Force India, then McLaren, Toro Rosso, Renault, Manor, and Sauber, the only team not to score points so far. Hopefully they score in Abu Dhabi, the final race of the season. So, that is it for the penultimate round of Season 1 of the F1 2016 career mode in Brazil. We have got another podium in this career mode. That includes the win, by the way. The win is included as a podium. Our resource points after this race, we got 99 resource points to get at 3,706, up to that number. And now we got 74 extra to get to 3,780. So we're actually going to get 4,000 at this rate. The rivalry update, we did not beat Rosberg. Rosberg won the race, so he's going to get a few points over us here. Yeah, he's a few points behind us, but we're still leading the rivalry because we got a podium and we were quite fast. Yeah. That was the rivalry, and now finishing 5th or higher, we got that. Being Roman Grosjean, we got that, and yet we're still overachieving. It's unbelievable. We are still overachieving the thing. Now for our career score, we did actually get penalties and flashbacks, but we got 6,415 to get it to 94,780 for the season total. So that was a decent Brazilian Grand Prix. We got another 3rd place. We got another podium in this career mode, and the next race is the finale in the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. See you guys next time. That is actually the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, I was the 6th podium. I was right the first time. Hopefully you enjoyed that Brazilian Grand Prix. We got a 6th podium of the career mode. See you guys for the finale in Abu Dhabi. And please like, comment, and subscribe. Click the bell button for notifications. And goodbye.